All I'm asking for you is for you to do your best. And that's what we're asking of organizations. That's what this governance, this model is all about. It's not about just doing the minimum compliance requirements. This is about organizations doing their best. And that's what we as stakeholders want our organizations to do. So I mentioned I just want to stop on this value generation side, because this value generation principle goes into a little bit more detail. It's the only principle that provides a little bit of practice guidance. And that's because this concept of value creation, preservation, and erosion, as the Integrated Reporting Council talks it, or the Value Reporting Foundation, or now the IFRS Foundation calls it, is this value creation, or SASB calls it enterprise value creation. So we felt it was necessary. We were dealing a lot with the IFAC, CIMA, CGMA on this concept of value creation at the time. And we felt that this is an incredibly important aspect in the 21st century, is how organizations generate value. And the fact that organizations have been generating value using societies and the environment's free resources for too long, in fact, to the point where we're in overshoot now. So the concept of sustainability very much built into value generation as well. And the guidance is in terms of defining what is required. So defining your objectives, your value generation objectives, and that has to be done in consultation and engagement with relevant stakeholders. In fact, considering all stakeholders' needs and expectations. Then creating that value, and then through strategies, designing your strategies, etc. And then delivering on that value. So then implementing your plans. Of course, the governing body is going to be overseeing the organization doing that. And then finally, making sure that the organization is sustainable in its context, in its social and environmental context. So withholding dividends, for example, and not paying out dividends, withholding it to make sure that the organization is sustainable. We can think about examples like the Norwegian pension funds or the oil funds. They're having to transition away from coal, away from carbon-based fuels. The whole world depends on them to do that. We're all watching them. They have to do it. And we need to do it. And we need to support them to do it. So how do we support them to do it? Well, we accept when they don't pay out dividends to their shareholders because they're using that money to be able to invest in renewable energy or alternative sources of energy. So we need to be cognizant of the ability to generate value in a sustainable way, both for the organization as well as for the context within which the organization is operating, which of course is the society, economy, and the environment.